In 2077, a resource war triggered a global nuclear conflict. Within 2 hours, human civilization was completely wiped out. The surface of the Earth became a wasteland. A portion of humanity continued civilization underground. They had become self-sufficient underground, except for the lack of sunlight. There was no difference from before. Another portion of people, after 200 years of change, continued to live on the surface. To maintain social order, the shattered government established a new organization. Their role was similar to that of the police before the apocalypse. Mark's dream was to become one of them. No matter how hard he trained, he only became a knight's attendant in the end. One day, the priest received a mission from the Federation. A scientist from the research base had escaped on his own and took an important item with him. The item had great power, enough to destroy a country. The higher-ups ordered them to search every uninhabited area. They must find the scientist. The portrait showed a man wearing glasses and a dog. All the knights were dispatched. Mark, as the knight's attendant, naturally had to follow. This was his first time being able to work with the knights he admired. However, the first thing the knight asked him to do was to clean the armor on his leg. Mark was a little unhappy, but he still cleaned the armor. At this point, the plane had not yet arrived at the mission location. The knight insisted on getting off the plane. The reason was simply that he was bored. After saying that, he grabbed Mark and jumped from a height of 100 meters. After landing, the knight turned around and left. He didn't care whether Mark could carry the package or not. The two of them arrived at a cave. Mark found a jacket and a can of dog food. It was highly likely that their target had passed through here as well. But as they entered the cave, it was pitch black. Without hesitation, the knight ordered Mark to scout ahead.
My lord, I don't have armor.
An order, my squire.
Mark had no choice but to use his body to test the unknown risks. Fortunately, there was nothing ahead. But when he turned around, a mutated bear suddenly appeared behind him. The powerful bite force destroyed the knight's weapon. Seeing that he was no match for the bear, the knight abandoned Mark and ran outside. After they exited the cave, he collapsed to the ground, pretending to be dead, trying to escape the danger. But the mutated bear already had human-level intelligence. At the critical moment, the knight quickly ordered Mark to shoot. However, after the knight was saved and removed his helmet, he didn't thank Mark. Instead, he kept cursing him for shooting too late. Mark had already taken out the healing syringe, but the knight just kept blaming him and said he would be severely punished when they returned. Mark stopped his actions. He never expected the knight he had admired since childhood would be this kind of person, so he quietly sat there until the knight stopped breathing. Only then did Mark put on the armor he had longed for. Now he had finally become a true knight.